Joy Pony is a truly peculiar case. During the 2010s, when My Little Pony was experiencing its peak internet popularity thanks to the Hasbro series, there was a small flash game that seemed to be just another spin-off related to the franchise. It had a colorful aesthetic, basic customization, and the main premise was that you got your own pony and had to take care of it. It sounded completely harmless. The game was relatively accessible during that decade, and anyone could download it without any trouble. But here is the important thing. Today, Joy Pony is technically still available on some websites, but most copies crash after a while or simply won't start. It was removed from its original location, but it was pirated and uploaded across multiple sketchy platforms on the internet. This means generations of people who played this, as children did so without having any idea what they were actually playing, and today, most cannot go back to it, even if they wanted to. I clarify this because, in theory, it is a lost game. When you started playing Joy Pony, everything seemed sweet and normal. You could customize your pony by choosing its color, or simply select Twilight Sparkle or another pony from the series. Once you had your pony, you could feed it, wash it, play with it, and earn coins called bits to buy things your pony supposedly needed. It really felt like any other virtual pet game like Tamagotchi or Neopets. But what if the game had something hidden that wasn't visible to the naked eye? Along with regular items like food, medicine, and soap, items like a knife and whips were also available, which you could use to hit and hurt your pony. And this is where the game gets creepy. If you tried it, if you actually went ahead and hurt your pony, the game allowed you to do it, but the pony's reaction wasn't robotic or cartoonish. It was disturbing. The pony cried, screamed, groaned in pain, and even seemed to beg you to stop. The sounds were disturbingly human. Heavy breathing, whimpering, real sobbing. It wasn't some cartoon sound effect or anything like that. They were sounds that felt too real, too visceral. What made Joy Pony so deeply uncomfortable wasn't just that it allowed this content, but the way it deceived the player. It presented a friendly, innocent pet game facade based on a beloved children's franchise, only to reveal later that you could also engage in virtual animal abuse in a way that felt shockingly realistic. Many people who played it as children opened the game expecting a My Little Pony type experience, discovered these dark options out of curiosity or exploration, and were confronted with content that simply shouldn't exist in a game seemingly targeted at minors. Some probably tried to hurt their ponies without fully understanding what they were doing. Others saw it online and decided not to touch it. Everyone who ever played this game will remember that uncomfortable experience. That feeling of having crossed a line without really knowing what you were doing. Charlie the Steak is a strange case, but with an unexpectedly different ending compared to other lost media. In 2013, a Czech developer studio called Dynamic Dust created a mobile app for iPhone. The concept was quite straightforward, a stress relief game. You know, those games where you tap or shake a character on the screen to release tension, similar to Talking Tom or Talking Ben. Charlie the Steak was like that, but with a completely different twist. The main character was a steak. Literally a steak with humanoid eyes looking straight at you through the screen, and the goal of the game was to torture it. You could hit it, kick it, burn it, and as you did, the steak reacted realistically. You earned points and unlocked subsequent levels and minigames. The strange charm of the character was that it maintained a permanent expression of happy resignation, as if it simply accepted its fate of being tortured over and over again. But why would anyone play something like that? The truth is, when Charlie the Steak was released, it had almost no popularity. Months passed and nobody really talked about it. The game simply existed in a forgotten corner of the App Store. downloaded by a few curious individuals, but it was never a hit or successful. Everything changed when a meme began to surface. Not just any meme, but a very specific one. A photo of Charlie the Steak combined with the song Vacation by the band Dirty Heads. For many people, this meme just appeared on their feed without context, and that generated an obvious question. Who is this strange steak? Where does it come from? And this is where things got interesting. A lot of people started searching the internet to find out where that character was from. They found some old screenshots of the game, and naturally, the first thing they did was go to the App Store to try and download it. But when they searched for it, they found nothing. It wasn't available. It had simply disappeared. Well, that triggered a massive search by the Lost Media internet community. Multiple people, including content creators, started making videos trying to find Charlie the Steak, attempting to draw the attention of as many people as possible. And it worked. The search gained enough traction for the original creator of the game to find out about it. But how did Charlie the Steak disappear in the first place? There are two specific reasons. First, Apple stopped supporting 32-bit applications in favor of 64-bit ones with iOS 11. Charlie the Steak was not updated to run on 64-bit systems, so it simply stopped working on updated devices. Second, and perhaps more importantly, the original developers stopped paying Apple's annual developer subscription fee. Without that active subscription, the account was closed and all their apps were automatically removed from the store. So Charlie the Steak was the victim of two simple technical problems. Basically, it wasn't lost for any sinister reason, just because it was deleted from the App Store. When the game gained massive popularity thanks to the meme and the search videos, the original developer, who probably thought the project was dead and gone, found himself being sought after by thousands of people, and he decided to act. He reactivated his Apple account, updated Charlie the Steak for 64-bit devices, and made it available on the App Store once again. The game was rescued. Charlie the Steak went from being a lost media mystery to a successful recovery case in a matter of months, and the culprit, in the most unexpected way possible, was a TikTok meme of a singing steak. It is probably one of the few cases of truly lost digital media that was successfully recovered, and it happened because a single viral video was enough to bring a game from the past back to life. Baby Shaker is probably the most well-known case on this list, and likely the most disturbing. In April 2009, Apple had just celebrated a major milestone, 1 billion downloads on its App Store. It was a time of massive celebration for the company. In the midst of this climate of success and growth, a small app was approved and uploaded to the official store. It was called Baby Shaker, developed by a company named Zicalosoft, which was apparently operated by a single programmer. The app was simple in concept. It basically consisted of a mini-game where you heard a baby crying over a black and white illustration of a baby on the screen. Your goal was to quiet it down. You could tilt your iPhone from side to side as if you were gently rocking it in your arms, or you could shake your iPhone vigorously. If you chose the first option, the baby calmed down. If you chose the second, two red X's appeared over the baby's eyes, visually indicating its death. The description in the App Store said something like, "On the airplane, on the bus, in the theater, babies are everywhere." And then it explained that it was a frustration simulator, presenting it almost as a joke. Even though it seemed obvious to anyone that something like this should never have been approved by an App Store, it was Apple, with its supposedly rigorous app review process, that allowed this to reach the store. The application became available on Monday, April 20th, 2009. By Tuesday, April 21st, it began circulating on social networks and specialized tech sites. By April 22nd, child protection groups, foundations dedicated to the prevention of shaken baby syndrome, and parents' organizations began protesting on a massive scale. Apple received an avalanche of emails from organizations expressing absolute horror at the application. The argument was direct, promoting the shaking of babies, even as a joke or a normal game, normalized a real and dangerous form of child abuse that causes permanent neurological damage in real babies. It is not something to joke about, and it is certainly not something that is acceptable to turn into a game. Apple reacted quickly. On that same day, April 22nd, less than 48 hours after its launch, the application was removed from the store. It was available for approximately 2 days, just long enough to generate an international scandal. Shortly after, Apple issued an official apology. This application was deeply offensive and should not have been approved for distribution on the App Store. The application was removed immediately. We sincerely apologize for this error. But the quick apology was not enough to calm everyone down. Baby Shaker is known by anyone interested in the history of tech controversies and lost games. Tell me, what did you think of these lost games? Which other one was missing? Leave it in the comments.